Can you hear me okay?
Hello, hello, hello. Okay.
Hi.
Something
Hello.
I've done wrong here. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hello. Sorry, I just had the volume turned down there.
That's good.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I'm just muting the video, so I've got that.
Okay. Awesome. Right.
Should I put me in there? I'm just going to plug in the webcam. It's probably
right, we are live, yeah? I think we are live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I was being really kind of slick saying all that. Sorry, go on. It's terrible.
It's all right. It'll get better. I think what I need for this, I need to actually pay for StreamYard, so I can play an intro tune like what I do with the Stonksy channel, because that gives you sort of like a couple of minutes to compose yourself, you know. But anyway, right, for anyone watching, well, is there anyone watching? I don't know. For anybody who's watching, right, my name's savewith.crypto from the channel called savewith.crypto. I'm here with Maff, aka Maff the Coder, who has helped me basically redesign and reinvent an indicator here that we now call Quadzilla. At the moment, here on the screen, I've actually got a version of it that Maff sent me 2 days ago, and I'm assuming that's probably similar to the current version, but we'll find out in a moment. So I'll just hand the mic over to Maff, and yeah, hello, how you doing, mate?
Hey, afternoon. Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Yeah,
cool.
End of the week, so I'm actually knackered to be honest. So we'll see how we get on. So yeah, you might have to provide the you know, the impetus and just the
okay,
the shouty stuff, I guess. Yeah,
I'm not a shouty person, but I can be assertive and stuff, and yeah, stuff like that. I'll tell you what I need. I need the StreamYard screen on that. I'll tell you, do you want to? Yeah, do you want to share your screen? And because we're going to talk about this indicator that you can see here on the screen right now, which is a free indicator that we've developed. It's called Quadzilla. If you go to the indicator tab in in TradingView, look for Quadzilla. In fact, you can look for Quadzilla, or you can look for quad rotation, but Quadzilla will find it in the community. Hang on. Quadzilla will find it here in the community tab, a community section, and there it says quad rotation stochastic, which was the original name, and it's kind of impossible to change that, although we are planning something maybe in the next week or so that will change it. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, that is the indicator. Right, so let me just find where you are. Why am I? Oh God, I've got too many tabs open. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Right. So I need to remove my screen, and I'm going to add your one. And I think as we're going to be talking about the indicator that's down the bottom quite a bit as well, I think we'll just go for the version which doesn't have our avatars there. So feel free to pick your nose or whatever you need to do.
Sure. Yeah. You're just setting me up, aren't you? So that'll be in the outtakes video.
Right.
Yeah. So essentially, this is Quadzilla. So as I'm sure that anyone watching it or watching this now or watching on playback or whatever will be fully aware of that. So essentially, this bit down here is the I guess it's how the indicator started. It was basically this panel as a oscillator. It's kind of stuck. It's limited to like the values like 0 to 100, so it kind of stays within that range. And so in the more recent versions, it started to integrate somewhat with the main price chart as well. So in fact, this is what you did in your video this morning. You switched it off for a moment, so you can kind of see what's part of the indicator and what's just the chart. So in fact, I'm on Solana there, aren't I? Let me just jump over to Bitcoin. In fact, I'll also jump over to maybe start on the hourly. So if I bring that back on, you can kind of see what's what. I think most people watching this will probably be fairly familiar with Quadzilla already. But just, I suppose very briefly what it does is it tracks the price momentum down here. So if the momentum through these stochastics is going up into overbought territory, then, and especially when this starts to curve round, and especially when you see the red background or that super down arrow, then that kind of means that things are overbought, and it's likely to the price is probably going to start to retrace back down. Then this follows along. That's probably quite a good example of that right there. So it's saying this has gone right up, things are overbought. You can expect the price to come down now, and it seems pretty certain of that. And so, bam, price comes down, then kind of other things happen, and off it goes. So similarly, the other way around with the oversold. So when the stochastic band, this convergence band, moves down into oversold, then you can kind of start to expect the price to turn around. The override on that is the trend, because generally trend kind of trumps the momentum until it doesn't, as these things go. So if you were looking at this and thinking like, hey, this is a great place to place along now, because to go long, so that because this is saying I really ought to, this is going to come round, it's oversold, you can expect the bulls to step in and start buying again, sellers are exhausted. But if the trend is really kind of pushing downwards still, and it's just looking like that ain't happening, the overall trend, especially on the higher time frames, you can check those as well. If everything is just still downwards, then that kind of outweighs what this might be showing at that point. So it's very much about using the two together. And also something we can probably go over maybe some other time, it is just also bringing in just support and resistance lines as well, because I think those three together are really kind of what gives it the actually the power of three or whatever. So that's that. The newer part of this. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, I ought to just mention what these are as well. Just a quick recap, really. So these are the just standard EMAs, exponential moving averages, and so the yellow one is 21, the green one is a slower 55, and they seem to work together pretty nicely to indicate things. So when you see, like in this example, that's probably not the best example actually. In fact, to be honest, yeah, actually, when you see that, it kind of means that the yellow is crossed down below the 55, below the green. That means that you can expect further downside there, unless something else kind of happens, steps in, like a particular support level, expected support level is reached, and you're expecting everything to suddenly reverse. And similarly, some example somewhere, if the 21 is crossing above the 55 like that, then that's a really positive trend, positive sign of a good upward trend. So the latest feature, which we're going to talk about here, is kind of this bit, which just gets drawn in, and the triangle when it's good and ready. So what happens here is that, so the down here, Quadzilla has painted a red background, meaning that it's expecting the price to come down because there's a particular set of circumstances that it picks up on where the momentum stochastics are kind of starting to come around in a particular way, and that suggests things are overbought, so the price is likely to come down. But on here, the EMAs have only just crossed over, so that's very, very bullish, but this is kind of telling a slightly divergent story on that. It's saying, I'm expecting things to come down. They're both kind of true. It's just that they're telling you slightly different sort of things. So what seems to happen over and over when you see this combination, prices crossed over, showing bullish, this goes red, showing bearish, it usually means that there's going to be a retracement. So, I mean, almost invariably, I have to qualify that with almost, because it really isn't every time, but a huge amount of the time, huge percent of the time, it's this happens, that the retracement happens. So the price continues to go up, then it comes down. It'll either touch this line, which is basically the low of the candle where the EMA is crossed over, and then it'll bounce up again. Usually it actually crosses below that line. That's typically what happens. But because that's so predictable, we can use that to set trades. So I can use, just to see that. It's a nice drawing. Where's the path? I'll probably use that. So essentially what happens is this, is that a good place to draw from? Yeah, there's like a 1, 2, 3 thing that happens. So on here, expecting the price to go up. So that's kind of what happens. Price comes down, usually drops down a bit further, then the price goes up again and sort of goes past the line. So maybe that shouldn't be dashed, it's a bit kind of weird, and it's pink. I'm drawing pink lines on here. I quite like pink, actually, to be honest. I like the colour. It's so yeah, so it's essentially 3 moves that you see over and over. So you tend to see like 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you just get the 1 and the 2, and then it might just carry on, or it might just range sideways, or just carry on down, or whatever. But if it plays through to all 3, then that's perfect. So what you can do is, well, there's a series of things actually. You can just follow along with the predictable pattern. So it's quite likely you would already be in a long at that stage, because this has signaled that the price has been coming up for a while. It seems like maybe it was going to drop. It's just going to retrace back down. Didn't happen because the trend was just so bullish, so strong at that point. So if you're already in a long, this is kind of an assurance that it's going to carry on it. So, and if not, you maybe even consider entering a long just here when it touches this line, and that when that signal appears. So you might get along here. In that case, it's just say if you're completely psychic and got that perfectly, that was like is that nearly 3%? Should round it up. It's more impressive. But 3%. So 3% long. Then because we're then kind of expecting the price to come back down, you might set a long with maybe a partial take profit on this line. like 2.7%, and then it touches the line just there. So you might have a limit order. This is kind of the idea behind it. You set a limit order in advance, and then when that hits, then kind of came up as part of this particular move. It went up to there, so like 0.9, nearly 1%. If you chose to keep the long position open, then because that's just ranging at that point, still in profit, might come all the way up to there, because that's another confirmation that it's going up again. Hopefully take some profits on the way, and then when you see it starting to come down there, this is confirming downward trend now. This might well kind of close out at that point for a decent profit. So that's the idea. So essentially, when that's happened, when this starts to come down, it's confirmed the 1-2 part of that. At this point, you would kind of get a limit order ready. So when the price comes down below this line, you set the limit order, the long, so that when it comes back up to this line, it'll trigger, and then you're into the long position with a good entry.
Which also, that bit there coincides beautifully with that green background in the momentum oscillator.
It's true, actually. To be fair, so that's another sort of confirmation that that's about to turn around. I think. Probably find got alerts up. I might need to. I'll switch those off in a minute. But I was actually going to go through the alerts because I found those are particularly useful for catching these. So if I just jump to the 3 minute on that, so actually, you know what? It's a bit better, isn't it? So that's kind of lovely. It's just caught that one, caught all of those. That one happened very quickly, so you might have to just be very quick on the money to get that one. But so looking at this one then, so if I could draw that out again just to show how it's happened. So it crossed over there, that line turned red. So essentially, let's call it from there. So whether strong price move up, that was one. Strong price move down. So at this point, the price has come down below the green line. So that once it comes below, then you set your long limit order to trigger once it comes back up to that line. So so at this point, you're not in the red or anything because that hasn't triggered yet. Or maybe it would have there probably. You might want to at this point kind of just maybe either hold that open in the red or just close it and go again. So this comes down here. That's the 2, and then obviously back up for the 3. So came down. So carried on up, turned, came back down. Limit order is now ready to go. Comes back up here. At this point, the limit order triggers, and then you're in a long. In this case, kind of up to there again. Like if you're psychic and close it at exactly the perfect time, then this. I mean, in this case, it's only on 3 minutes, so like one and a bit %. And funnily enough, in the midst of that, there's also that one going on in the other direction, the short retracement. Oh, did I even mention? Yeah, this is, so we're kind of calling this the retracement pattern. So essentially that'll do that. So this one, same thing but in reverse. So 21 comes down, crosses below the 55. We get a green signal here for the momentum oscillator, but this is essentially saying, hey, you know what? Even though this thing is kind of saying we're expecting the price to go up, there's still some downside first. So from that line. I mean, to be honest, the point where this starts drawing is just where that arrow is. So it kind of just adds in that bit to the left, just so you can see where the level's from.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So you'd kind of get it from that point, really. But just to show what the price action is doing there, so you get that kind of one down to here. So that's one. Then comes up to here. This short here happens very quickly, because things are looking very bullish then, and even like this EMA convergence is happening. It's already showing that that's happening, that things are likely to go up. So you might even question at this point whether it's going to be a good idea to place a short. So it comes up. So say if you went along with it, goes past the red line. So now you place the limit short to the top of that bit, and then comes down to there. So it comes down here. The limit short triggers at that point. It only comes down to there before going up again. But as I said, that's everything's just on the up at that point. So at this point, the short would trigger. Hopefully, you just move the stop loss at least to break even, or make a teeny bit of profit maybe, and then that would close. But also, as I say, just the other things that the indicator's telling you, you probably question whether it's going to be a good idea to place that short just at that point, because everything is kind of saying up, up, up. You know. So,
yeah.
But it does happen. You know, it does. So you get the retracement, comes back down, and yeah, it's like wherever it was, 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of neat. This one happened as well. Same sort of thing. Just started there. You get the red background. Oh, also this now adds to the trend shield. So it paints the green triangle there to show that this is kind of in play.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
mine's looking slightly different to yours. Is this a different version than you sent me last night?
I sent you. I'm pretty sure I sent you that. The version that's got this. It should. Yeah. In fact, it definitely is. So
I know what it is. I'm on the. I was on the ByBit chart. Okay, you're on the index chart. Yeah. Okay. No, that's the same.
That does seem to. Yeah, it's surprising how much of a difference that makes, because you do see like different things caught and not caught. I noticed also on the Blofin chart that sometimes it puts in the line like this. Say if that bounced away there and didn't come down below the line, it might just be like $1 above it or something like that. So this would never actually be touched. But like on the index chart or on one of the other exchanges, the bigger exchanges, it would actually come down a bit before going back up. So it's kind of interesting. It just depends which one you're looking at. So essentially with this one, what this can also tell you, I mean that one actually works out beautifully, to be honest. Takes a little while, but again only on the 3 minute. But what it's also kind of telling you is that while that's going on, there's going to be a retracement. Oh, here it comes, and then it carries on. So I guess so you can kind of use this in two different modes, I suppose. Like on here, we're obviously on a very low time frame, just on the 3 minute. So you might be using this for quick scalp moves, just quick in and out, but keep very tight stop losses, because there will be times when the limit order triggers and it just comes back down. So you just have to kind of close it and go again, and then it gets it right. You know, eventually it goes up as it should.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
like
I suppose
this one, for example.
I mean, I suppose with both of those two examples there, it's literally like, you know, if you were long already and it's going up, and you think, okay, I'm doing all right here, but when it starts coming back down, to be honest, at that point you go, okay, I'll close it now, because I'm pretty sure it's going to come back to where I was before. So yeah. So it'd be good, sort of like, you know, you can confidently take profit because you know it's not going to go up forever.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really useful for that thing. It's a bit like I know, like Block Pro talks a lot about setting these sort of backtest levels, like going up to the 4 hour or whatever, and putting in the sort of support and resistance lines, and then coming back to these, then you can kind of see where it's going to range. So even if it kind of goes up and touches a particular resistance line from a higher time frame, it's, you know, you kind of know it's, or highly expect that it's going to come down and at least come somewhere near the support line, that kind of thing. And it is kind of spooky how often that plays out, I think. But this kind of gives you a bit of that as well, in that, like there, I don't know if there's anything that would have necessarily said, well, I suppose there's a touch point for that as a resistance line, but it's a form of resistance line that it's painted in, so it's kind of saying, yeah, we're up there, but you know, this other stuff is happening. Momentum's not looking that great, so the price is going to come down, and sure enough it hits that exact line in this case. Yeah, so this one is kind of an interesting stuff. Is that, oh yeah, that's caught up with live, isn't it, the present moment. So that's currently indicating that you might expect at some point that's just going to retrace back up and touch that. It doesn't always, you know. It's but
so
that's yeah.
In that circumstance there, I mean, that line stops after a while. What determines when it gives up, if you like?
Yeah, there's a setting for that.
Okay.
So it's, in fact, I'd probably go into those. So the settings for retracement pattern are here. You can also just switch them all off. So there's color settings for those what like to change the colors around. There's this bit, that's something I could probably show maybe later if we've got time, but you can just tell it, because, oh, actually, yeah, I'll cover what you're asking about first. So it's essentially this stop drawing after this number of bars.
Okay.
So if the price hasn't retraced to the expected level after that many bars, then it just stops plotting the price line, just gives up, or whatever. Yeah, and if you happen to have a limit order set, you're like anticipating it, come on, then at that point you might consider just cancelling the limit order. And just go and do something else. Like, because as the saying is, some other market structure is most likely in play now instead. But then again, sometimes it does just sort of carry on and the price does retrace. I mean, it's going to eventually, but you know, it just forms that nice kind of just retracement shape, I guess. The other things in here that it's worth playing around with. So you can configure the number of bars after the EMAs cross, sort of after it detects, after it, you know, the background turns red or green down here. Like this one, that was fairly soon after the, is that one, isn't it? That was fairly soon after the cross under there. So 1, 2, 3, 5 maybe. So this is set to 12. I initially had that set to 3, and it seems sensible, but then I found I was just gradually nudging this setting higher and higher, at 5 and so on and so on. It's currently set to 12, which I think is maybe about right. Anything beyond that is possibly a bit reckless, because it's just going to be kind of indicating things that have just long since happened. But 12 maybe. You can always play around with that. And then also just quick setting for the these triangles. So that we're kind of calling those go long and go short triangles, but really it's more now set your limit order, your long limit order or short limit order. So that appears once the price has gone back above that line, or in the case of the green triangle, when it's dropped down below the line. So that color is always going to match with the color of the line, so you kind of know if it's it's a limit short pattern that's playing out, or a limit long.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. What else in there? Oh yeah, so these actually, what I might do is, if I jump to a different thing, should do that, just sort of
Sure.
I guess. Jump to a different different asset. Randomly go to XCN. I don't think this is actually tradable on Blofin at the moment, but obviously it's on Coinbase, so and elsewhere, of course. I mean, Onyx has actually been doing pretty well lately, I've noticed. So I didn't realize I had some Onyx coins from way back. So it's like, oh, they, it's turned from a small amount into a medium-sized amount. That's quite nice. So yeah, this one on the 3 minute, that played out rather nice too. This is another example. Yeah, this is an example of where having the larger value for the setting of that, so it helps to see that kind of playing out. Right. So another retracement structure. Should do that again, drawing the thing. So at this point, in fact, that triggered fairly long afterwards as well. So that's again the benefit of having like the 12 as the number of bars back, like it has to happen within 12 bars for it to consider that to be a retracement. So like so that crosses above. So so the 1, 2, 3 thing there, because this is saying it's going to come back and then at that point go long. So it's like that's one. So like completing that long, which you might well have been in a long position for that. To be honest, might on that bit when it's come back down, might well have looked at that and thought, oh, now it's retracing, I'm going to take the profit. That'd be quite sensible, I think. But then obviously it just carried on up anyway. But you would still be fairly confident that because of this, and to be honest, because of this, the red background as well, and what the momentum's doing, that it's at some point it's going to just sharply turn around, and it does. Well, it sharply turns around and then ranges downwards, and eventually finds its way back down past the line. So you add the limit order there. Once it's past that line, heads down to pretty much there, I suppose. Then goes up quite sharpish. This is actually the end of the move just here. So, I mean, that actually happens quite rapidly at that point. Once it came down below the line, is a sharp move and then carrying on down. So you'd kind of get a sneaky long out of that before it carries on down, I guess. And of course, as I was saying, you'd have the confirmation there if you're already in a long position that that even though this is lit up, even though other stuff might be happening, it's actually going to carry on up for a bit. Then, as I was saying, so once it starts to come down, you might well think, oh, I'll place a short there now. because I'm pretty confident that it's going to find its way back down. So like three potential trades there, really.
Yeah, got you. Okay. So we've got a comment here from Kaz. Hello, Kaz. Saying, is it saying you have to look at the overall trend to think if that's likely? I think that is generally the case, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a case of weighing it up. I think just probably because of just how often this actually does play out, it gives you some level of confidence in itself that it is going to retrace.
Yeah.
So
I suppose. Yeah. So I suppose in that circumstance, you know, the price was going up, but
which one are you looking at? The first one.
The one that's sort of on the right at the moment with the big
that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, well, before that, you'd seen the green background on the momentum oscillator.
Yeah. So here. Yeah.
And then you know, so you'd be thinking, okay, this is looking really
sorry, down here. That one.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like as an initial kind of thing, you know, okay, that's looking good. And then up in the top main chart, you've seen the yellow cross over the green, so we know that's a bullish kind of thing, and you know the price went up. So at that point, I mean, you know, I'd be thinking, okay, this is all really bullish, everything's going to go up. But now we've got that green arrow there, you're thinking, well, it is going to go up, but it's more like, you know, it's likely to come to not last forever, and it's probably going to come back down to that level in a while. That's kind of how you interpret it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And because you definitely expect some sort of pause for breath, some sort of retracement at some point. It's gone up there. There's some, all of a sudden, there's some profit taking going on. So it comes down to here. So at this stage, you might then kind of expect it's just that's happened, and now it's just going to carry on back up, you know, and keep kind of zigzagging its way to the moon. But this is kind of saying otherwise, that, you know what, hold your horses, you know, consider that it might come down to this point, and it's pretty likely.
Which I think is massively valuable, because I've been in a trade so many times, even quite a few recently, you know, quite large trades where, you know, you think, okay, I've caught a good entry. Is this it? You know, are we going to go to like 130K or whatever? But if you saw that, what we call it, the retracement,
retracement pattern, I guess. I mean, I've called it that.
What's it called?
So I guess, retracement pattern. Then it's made up of, so that's a retracement level. Let's call it level. That sounds cool, but it's kind of what it is. So it comes down to retracement level.
Yeah. So I think that's really valuable for, you know, that circumstance when you think, okay, well, it looks like we're going to the moon, but we're actually not, you know. But enjoy it while you not yet. Enjoy it while you can. But if you see it coming back down, it's probably going to come back down to there, and that's what it's saying. I don't know any other indicator on the planet that gives you any information like that at all. So I think this is brilliant.
Yeah,
Really.
It's also, I mean, it's very much standing on the shoulders of the stochastic momentum thing as well. So obviously it uses that to identify or to get that feel of what's going on there. But yeah, just that, combining that with the trend stuff is kind of, you know, it's like a magical combination in a way. So I mean, it's going to say like, there's another, you know, this one works out perfectly, but that one kind of does as well. It's just a smaller move. But this one, yes, it's kind of, you might be in a long already because it's crossed there. it kind of came down. This line wouldn't have drawn yet at that point. To say it would only draw here once you got the red background. But so say if you're still in the long, or you might be considering taking a long or whatever, you might wait until it's come back down and do whatever there. But so you get kind of the 3-point thing. So that goes up, comes back down. Oh, that's lovely. Just below the line. So you place your limit long there, and it would trigger quite quickly during that wick. You'd have to be a bit quick with that one. And then kind of, up to finish. And then in the meantime, we've got another kind of long signal starting there. Let's say it's a littler one. But
okay. So I think what Kaz is saying here, Kaz says, I think I see you're looking at that line as likely to come back to it rather than if it goes down after that. Yeah. So you're looking for it's likely that the price will retrace to that line. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And it very much depends on the color as well. So if it's the go long line, if it's the bullish green, then it's saying price is going to come back down, but it is going to retrace, or rather, it's going to retrace down to that line, and then it's going to it's highly anticipated to turn and carry on back up. So hence comes back down to here. Now open the limit long on that line and catch it on the way back up.
Yeah.
Similarly, like maybe just on this particular chart, there don't seem to be that many reds. Oh god, there you go. So that's the same thing in reverse. Obviously, it's gone down here. You might be thinking, oh god, this is going to zero. We're all doomed. Just pack up and go home. But this is saying, well, hang on. That might be true. It might be true. It might be going to zero, but first it's going to come back up to here. So wait for it to come up above that line. Place your limit short on that line. Then when it comes back down, that'll trigger, and now it's going down to zero. So you can just ride that short all the way down. So on and so on, all the way through. That's funny. That again, it's just down to the setting, but that gave up. But you might be looking at it and thinking, oh, I'll just keep it. I'll just watch out for a limit short there anyway. Like if that setting was, because I think it's set to 80 bars before it gives up. If it's set to 90, then it would just get to there, and then you'd have another kind of go long there. But again, it's kind of what it's saying. It's like, hey, we're going to the moon? Well, not just yet. Hang on, it's going to come back down. Does, and off again.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to just make it clear to anyone watching. I don't think there's many watching actually, but obviously there might be a lot more on the replay. So this version here you're looking at, this isn't the one that's available. What we're thinking of doing is rebranding the indicator properly to Quadzilla. So it might kind of change a little bit the way we do things. We're not going to charge for it. It's going to still be free. But what I would say is if you are interested in this indicator and you're already using it or you'd like to use it, please do join the Telegram group we've got. The link for that will be in the description down below. And certainly everybody, in the Telegram group right now will get free access for life, as far as I'm concerned. So that is a good reason to do that. Whether that's the case in the future, I don't know. But yeah, I think now it's grown beyond what it originally was. Originally we called it the quad rotation stochastic indicator or oscillator, because it was just the part down the bottom. But now it's kind of grown into a monster actually, which that monster is Quadzilla. Absolutely, and So I think we need to rebrand it. So we'll probably do that next week, and then at that point you'll be able to get this indicator with all these bits we're looking at now. But this was meant to tantalize and tease, and that's what we're here for. This is awesome. You've done really well, Maff. This is like, I don't know, this is more than I could have ever wished for, really. Do you want to talk about the alerts you've set up? I had a little poke around last night, and I could see that you've made some rather nice additions to the indicator.
Yeah, sure. So let's have a look. What I have these two. That's something. I'll just clear those. So yeah, on the alerts here. So I've just been I was just setting those up whenever it was, but so I set up on here. So what we can do is actually I'll walk through maybe setting these up for some other asset. So just have a look at those. So the initial one I set up was for Bitcoin on the 1 minute. So what should we? Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, if we set one up now, it's probably just easier than to talk to. I think Sol was there already, wasn't it? Was eGold there? No, let's do one for eGold. I'll jump over to that. Reset.
That's my.
That's kind of.
I don't know what the name is for that. It's my bag holding mistake, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, I've still got some. Elrond, like I can't call it that. It's MultiversX. That's ridiculous. But I've still got some Elrond lying around somewhere. Not sure where exactly. But so on here, say if we're gonna set some alerts on eGold. So maybe start on the 3 minute. So can I remember how to? Oh yeah, just plus. So probably the best way to do this is if we look at this. So set the price, Quadzilla, and so these are the various alerts that we can set within here. So I mean these ones of course existed before, and the trend shield ones did as well. So the new things here says bullish retracement, which is obviously where the green level appears, bearish where the red. And because TradingView does obviously limit the number of alerts you can set up, so just sort of did a combined one as well, where it's just something's happened. I don't know. You have to go and have a look, mate. And so just kind of come over to the chart and see whether it's a bearish or a bullish line. But in practice, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just it means that there's a potential to watch for that and then set a trade on it. So on this, so you kind of choose this one, and 3 minutes, because it's the low, like as in quick time frame. I'll set that to not send an email, not trumpet. Droplet maybe. That's kind of that one. Doing. And for the message, if you've got a whole load of these set up on different time frames, different assets, and so on, it becomes a bit bamboozling. You get this message, and it's like, but which chart was that for? And then just trying to hunt around. So this is eGold, isn't it? And I'll add in on the 3 minute. So let's copy that. So that's this one added here. So essentially, if one of these lines appears red or green on the 3 minute chart for eGold, then you get an alert on that. And that, so what that essentially allows is that you can then kind of jump into this and say like, okay, brilliant. I can see the lines there. I'm just going to get ready to trade. Maybe depending how far along the price has moved, what's happening on it.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I'm going to set up the limit long. I won't actually set it just yet, but I'll have that ready with a value set. So you'd set the limit long to trigger on that value, in this case 17.45, and then you'd just wait for it to come down. In this case, wonderful. It's a great example that I just chose there. You come down below the line,
That's quite.
then it starts to go up, and then you get stopped out. Great. Oh no! Actually, yeah. I suppose it would there, but yeah. To be honest, and especially on 3 minutes, this is kind of what I was saying earlier. That when you're doing this, you want to make absolutely sure that you set a tight stop loss on that, because every now and again that'll happen. You just want it to stop out immediately, just no messing, and then just go again. In this case, it's just gone doing something else now. That one works out pretty nicely, because that does then for that one, that does then drop down nicely. That'd be a tidy trade, to be honest. So yeah, in terms of setting up the alerts, then the next one would be to clone that. Creates a clone which is paused. Hope it's paused. Yeah, paused. So go in and edit that one. So blah 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 blah. Set this to whichever other time frames you want. A lot's going to depend also probably on which trading view account that you got set up. So like how many of these alerts you're actually allowed to set up. So I think the one I'm on, which is the cheapskate one, is 20 alerts. So say if, I mean, you might set one on 1, 3, 5, whatever, because it just catches them differently on each one. So say if I set the next one on 12 anyway, just to illustrate. So let's set it on 12. Let's change that to 12 when it appears. Probably still not an email just yet on the 12, because I suppose the idea is that for these lower time frames, you have to be at the computer at that point, just kind of it's a trading session, or I don't know, just watching Netflix on another window or whatever. But you're around, so it's kind of, you can kind of see, you'll see the pop up on this when it happens. So save that one there. Maybe do one more. So now we're going to set that to. You probably also do maybe 15 as well, because sometimes one catches the retracement level and the other one doesn't, and vice versa. Yeah. So, but you might set 30 and maybe 1 hour as well. So for this one, because it's I should have said that 30 minutes. But for this, because it's a longer time frame, you might be out somewhere. Set it to send email. Oh, actually, yeah. What I also forgot to mention for these is that so for the lower time frames, those are set to only once, which is obviously not quite what you want. I should have just too late now. So for the lower time frames, you would set probably once per bar close, because they happen so quickly that and often if it's on the current live bar, then the backgrounds might appear and disappear a few times, and by the time the bar has closed, it might have actually disappeared. This obviously happens. So you'd come back to here and go like, well, I was alerted. Where's it gone? What's it trying to tell me? So for the lower time frames, maybe 1, 3, probably up to 12. Then just set it to once per bar close. But then above that, waiting that long for like half an hour or an hour, it's by the time you're alerted about it, it's probably going to be a bit too late. So it's worth getting a few like the occasional phantom alert to actually just be alerted in time to do something about it and place the trade. So for those ones, probably just once per bar is fine. Is a preferable one, I think. So that's a 30-minute, and so on. So otherwise, if we don't set these, then if your trading strategy for the day is kind of to check, wait for one of these to happen, and then like play that particular trade, then you kind of have to do a lot of, let me go to this watch list here, like clicking through them and, oh man, which one's going to show up, which one's going to show up, and the time frames as well.
Yeah,
so you just kind of, so quite a good way to do this is to actually set or like have a look through initially, and to see which ones, which assets, which trading pairs, and which time frames are showing up where the signal is showing up a lot, especially like more recently, and that's probably going to be a good one to add into the alerting. So what have we actually got on there? Sorry, just distracted myself, just thinking like what's grass doing at the moment. So I remember like TMG, I think, I'm fairly sure he was talking about grass quite a lot at one point, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think so. Yeah, grass and maybe Jasmine as well. But yeah, so this one, actually, I suppose what it's showing there, that's showing that this here was saying kind of, this is starting to look bullish again, but maybe if it gets back up to this line, then it's kind of, you'd expect it to happen and drops out. I think that could well still happen, looking at that. It's just doing this, but it could well just work its way back up and then drop some more
and die.
Yeah, essentially. It's one of those ones where shorting it is probably going to be a safe bet, even in a bull market. You never know. But in this case, I think because that drop is so steep that it's retraced. Probably maybe was that. But yeah. So in terms of, I don't know if it's worth having a quick look. Open this tab as well. So on TradingView, do you have affiliate links for TradingView as well?
I have actually. Yeah, I'll pop one in the chart and in the comments. Hang on a sec. It is one of my famous redirect ones. But what it does, TradingView is free. However, when it's free, it gets really annoying because you got ads all the time, and it is quite limited. But if you go to this link here, it's savewith.crypto.org/TV. That redirects to my affiliate link, where if you go for a annual plan, I think that's any of the plans, you get $15 off. I get $15 as well. And to be quite honest, out of all the time I've been shilling that link, only 2 people have ever used it. But anyway, it's there if you need it.
Nice. Yeah.
So, I'm actually gonna. Well, for the plans I want to do, I'm going to have to upgrade mine to premium at the weekend, actually. So I've need to earn a few pounds first.
Yeah, so do some extra trading, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. And
because what's notable about this, what I was going to mention, so like I'm only on the essential.
Me too.
So that's like 20 alerts, and probably for this kind of thing, like setting the alerts is probably sufficient. But it was one of the reasons why I kind of doubled up the alert. So you have the it might be bearish, might be bullish, but something's going on kind of alert. So while I was there, I added the same thing for the ABCD pattern recognition alert that's been in
I
there for a
noticed.
while.
Yeah.
That had the up and the down, but there's now a combined one for that as well. So yeah, I mean, if you went up to Plus, I guess like you were saying, you might need to go up to Premium anyway. But on Plus, that gives you 100 alerts, which would be a bit. Well, it's already ample-ish, ample,
Yeah.
More than ample.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the only reason I want to go to Premium is because that allows you to create invite only scripts, which it may become, but we'll see.
I think it's starting to make sense. I think for this to become that sort of indicator. I think, but yeah, for 400 alerts, I mean, you could set that up so you got just constant noise of just pings and grunts and trumpets.
I like all the girl noise. I like that.
Absolute orgy going on.
I know people wonder what the hell's going on.
People are walking by outside and the windows open.
Yeah.
Suburbia. So yeah, there's in terms of keeping track. So this is the thing, because with this particular pattern, the retracement pattern, it happens pretty often, more than I actually thought it would be happening initially. But at the same time, if you just sat down in a trading session and you kind of want this to appear, you want to catch one of these appearing somewhere, so you can just place a trade or get the trade ready. It's nice just to have some representative selection of the different markets and timeframes that you particularly would want to be able to catch. So if you kind of know that some market is going to have some volatility that day, it's also nice to catch that and not just rely on remembering to click through. So that's that.
Yeah, very cool indeed. This is all extremely awesome. Okay. I think at this point. Sorry, you got more to say?
Oh yeah, I was going to say one last thing. I was going to say, well, let's see if I can find the right place, because I did notice with Stonksy and Sol on this Stonksy Sol chart. This one. Sorry, not Stonksy. Chippy Sol. I like Stonksy as well. But Chippy Sol, which I very, very like. This is if I go to obviously not really going to be exactly doing leveraged trading on Chippy, but if I go to here, that's kind of interesting what's happening. Oh, if I go to slightly higher,
I'm just bringing that up myself.
Yeah, this what's kind of interesting here was that's pumped so much that it doesn't even fit on the the whole thing doesn't really fit on the screen anymore and still be visible.
Oh, I see what you're saying. What time frame are you on?
That's the 4 hour. But if I go to maybe the day, actually this is where I spotted it. The day is probably a bit more meaningful for this, given it's on radiums. It's on a DEX. So
right,
this at the start of that pump, it did open this, saying it's probably going to come back down to here, which I think.
Wow.
I mean, this is obviously kind of artificially pumped, really, isn't it? Just getting ready for the relaunch for Free Chippy Friday and V2 and so on, which I'm kind of excited about. But I would say if you're still looking to buy into Chippy coin on Sol, then I mean, probably buying at some point. I mean, that's obviously retraced a lot. I bought an extra half a Sol virtually at the top. It's starting to FOMO, but at the same time knowing full well that it's just going to that's going to be a local top for a while. But you just feel like you should.
Yeah. So that retracement level is that's 78% down. That's
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if it does come all the way down to there, or if there's now sufficient kind of just real world momentum, I suppose, behind it, in terms of fundamentals. Like that might come down to one of these, maybe like some liquidity level there, maybe, and then up. But such a lot of it, I think, depends on TMG just continuing his kind of daily buy of
because he's kind of said that a red candle isn't acceptable. So like a red
step on the gas, isn't he? Just keep on buy some more.
I am actually very, very bullish on this. I mean,
I
know sometimes some people some people think he's, I don't know. Some people think he's a pump and dump bloke, and I actually know him. I know him enough now, and I know the people he works with very well now, and he's not. That's not what he's about at all. What he does do, he gets distracted and bored very quickly. So quite often he'll be into something and then he'll change his mind and he'll go into something else, and he'll just get a little bit bored and move on to another project. He is a bit like that, I must admit. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, but this Chippy project, he's actually been for the last nearly a year actually. I know that he's been putting like a lot of like time and effort into it, because in the Crypto Saving Expert Premium, we have like a town hall meeting every Thursday, and he talks about the progress of it and stuff. And I mean, like anything, there's been setbacks, delays, and frustration in working with other people not doing what they been paid to do, that kind of thing. And it's but all the time, all the way along, he's very, very proud of what he's made and what it can become. So is that a call you need to?
No, it's actually an ice cream van outside.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that is a call.
I'll have a 99, please.
Yeah. I'm tempted.
Or catch a van decent enough, as you say in French. Why haven't they got a word for 90? I've never worked it out. They're like catch a van decent instead of not. Anyway,
talking French to me. I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, you lived over there for a while, I think, didn't you? Was that...
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah. So
blimey. Yeah. So I guess you'd catch a bit of the local lingo.
I can speak French like a 5-year-old, probably. I think that's what happens. I think
you can swear in French like a Frenchman.
I can swear in French. Not sure if it's like a Frenchman, but I think that's the way it works with language, isn't it? I think if you get to degree level, you're about the same as a 5-year-old or something.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, what was I going to say? So I know that he's put a lot of like time and effort into it, and I think it's going to be amazing, actually, to be honest. I'm just never quite sure.
Pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I do want to increase my bag, but there again, I thought that I was thinking that last October, and then I made it a bit bigger, and that now I'm a bit reluctant to buy some more because of how much it pumped yesterday. But there again, it's coming back down. So will it come back to our level?
It just so looks like a blow off top, but at the same time, maybe it's just because it's obviously been artificially pumped.
Yeah.
So obviously it's going to.
I'm
probably come down a bit further, I think, but then before it goes up again. So,
I'm looking at it on the 12-minute time frame here, and that's got a retracement level of something that looks a lot more realistic, I think. 12-minute, which is that's only another 35% down. Oh, actually,
is this what you're looking at?
Yeah, but we're not,
I mean, obviously this is on Sol, Chippy Sol, Wrapped Sol, even.
yeah, I think we're on the same thing. Mine does look different now. Why does?
You can share if you want to show you.
I'm looking at a different computer. I'm actually looking back towards the 15th of July.
On the 12-minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
it that? That was obviously saying go long there.
Oh, that's
quite
weird.
right.
Why
I wish I'd done that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Why is mine different to yours?
I don't know. But I've gone further beyond that.
Let's not worry about
that. Fish and chips, Wrapped Sol, Solana, Yaka, USD.
Does it go FXKJAN something?
Yeah, that one.
Oh. Why the hell would that be different?
And they're both on 12-minute. That's interesting.
It is actually. I'm actually going to. Yeah. Oh, I might actually show you. Actually, let me move it over to the other computer. So
yeah, sure. Yeah.
So it'll just take me a minute.
Sure.
I think we've only got 4 people watching actually. So
more than I thought, to be honest.
So we can do what we do what we want.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to share that tab, and I have to do
stop talking about the cricket or something.
That wouldn't be good with me because I wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I'm the same, to be honest. I'm not a sports following person whatsoever.
Right, I'm just going to remove you, and then I'm going to add me.
Sure.
It's all gone a bit slow again. Yeah, that bit there.
Okay. Let me just zoom in a bit. Wraps on Solana. Oh, yeah, on Solana 12-minute Radium. Did you? Sorry, which bit were you pointing out? Just
this down here.
I can't see your mouse.
Oh. Hang on.
Maybe draw a line on the chart.
Help if I was on the right thing, wouldn't it? What am I doing here?
The mouse is doing secret things, obviously.
Oh, so I've still got you there, right? Right. Okay. Not very smooth, that was it.
So, something to work on. I don't know.
Right. You can see that now, can't you?
Oh yeah, that's very different. FX
is. So I'm using the script that you sent me last night.
Yeah.
Can't think what else I could have done.
I mean, it's more scrunched up than on mine. At the risk of getting technical.
Right, I'll get to reset the settings.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, looking at that now, that's kind of interesting. So it's got that's a nice level to retrace to, isn't it?
That looks doable to me because you've got like a flat
4 zeros and a 1.
Yeah. But anyway.
Oh yeah, it probably is different settings because I think I've got mine set to, because I think on mine it actually triggered that. So that I think one of the candles just going to wick down.
Okay.
Or something along those lines.
I think the daily look the same though, because that's got that bit down there. Okay.
I mean that would be the retracement from hell. I think that one goes. I just I'd be amazed if it came on. I thought it was kind of interesting to see that, and it just kind of shows where the pump is coming from at the moment. But we all kind of know that anyway.
If that did,
that it you can kind of see it on the chart effectively.
Yeah.
That there's, I mean, poor Jordan, well, not poor Jordan, he's very rich, but you know, he's just busy pumping away on this thing, and these other people, people keep selling, keep profit taking, and he's having to pump harder. I do feel for the guy.
I know that. Well, that's why he's worried about people like having like massive bags, because like, you know, it kind of needs lots of people with lots of little bags, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, not just one person to dump it all in one go. And you know, that's the only way it'll go bad, I think. But yeah. My phone's pinging away, and I probably need to sort of see what that's all about.
Yeah.
See if it's anybody important or not. Probably isn't. But
it's probably a good place to stop though. I think we've gone for over an hour and a half. So
yeah. Okay.
Good stream, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was great, and I love what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put some. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say that I'm hoping that like, you know, we could make this a sort of weekly thing. Probably picking a day when there's going to be maybe more people around at a particular weekday and time, I think. But that'd be great. You know, just spend an hour or so on a weekday evening just kind of going through this stuff.
It would be great. You know, we can talk about any changes we've made, or failing that, we can just put it into action and look at assets and just, you know, sort of say what we think really. And I think that'd be a really good thing to do. Right, for the 2 people who are left, I think it might be you and me actually.
The room is echoing.
Yeah, do click like on the way out, and I'll see you all soon. Okay. All right. Thanks again. I'm going to end the stream. That's it. We're done.